Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or the channel. My name is Topaz Star. I am your host. Today I'm going to be talking about someone very important to me, and that is my daddy. With the passing of Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace, and his daughter, and all the other people that were on that helicopter, there's a whole influx of the hashtag girldad, which is really cool because it's a bunch of dads celebrating the fact that they have daughters. And as the daughter of a girl dad, because I have two sisters, I'm going to talk about my daddy. My dad and my mom were married for 54 years. Okay? They met when they were about 16 in the church choir. They were friends. They were good friends before they even started dating. My father was raised by his aunt from the age of 12-ish until he graduated high school. I believe he then went into the Air Force because he did serve in the Air Force for about a year. And then he was honorably discharged. And subsequently then, sometime after that, he went into the monastery. My father studied to become a monk, one of those silent order monks. In Pennsylvania, I think their father house was. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know. I'm not that connected to the church anymore. So once he studied to become a monk. He was never ordained. He didn't get that far. But he was pretty far in his studies when he left. And then, of course, he married my mom. And they have 4 kids. I am the youngest of the 4 kids. My father was a member of the travel agency department at TWA Airlines. So he traveled all around the world constantly. He was constantly gone. By the time I was born, he left TWA, started his own air travel company. I think he was called a travel agent at that time. I think that was his position. That's what his position was. We'll go with that. That was his position. He was a travel agent. So he worked with the rich and the socialites of New York a lot. So he would go and he would be tour guides with them on, Mediterranean tours, mostly Mediterranean tours. I don't think he knows how many times he was in the Mediterranean in Greece and all of that. But by the time I was born, he left TWA and he started his own travel agency in the center of our town in Amityville. Okay. And it did pretty well. But he had to close down the travel agency. And he worked in various jobs in the city. So he would commute into and out of New York City. So eventually we moved after I graduated high school. We moved to North Carolina, and eventually he was a substitute teacher at one of the local high schools. He was the best substitute teacher in the history of the school. Okay, you have no idea how many kids lived for my father. They made a meme about him. He was a meme, apparently. I've never seen it. Okay. And so apparently it was that success kid meme where it said something about teachers out, we have a substitute. It's Mr. V. Yay! Something along those lines. I really don't know because I have never saw it. So he was extremely popular. He was a celebrity at the school. Okay? He could not go through the hallways of the school without being kids calling out, Mr. V, you being in our class? Are you teaching our class today? Oh no, I'm not teaching that class. Oh, you mean we don't have you? No. Oh, what class you teaching today? I'm teaching, such and such. Oh, I have that class after lunch. I'm doing it. Oh my God. The kids would follow him. They would talk to him. They would take pictures with him. He's a celebrity. He was literally a celebrity at the school. He was so loved. To the point where they actually made a position for him. He became an honorary teacher at that school. They even made like a little plaque, a little award type plaque for him. They had a ceremony and everything. It was so adorable. I love my dad. But unfortunately, while he was, during the years he was teaching, he developed prostate cancer. And sometime after Valentine's Day, he passed away. It was February 21st. So it was 2015, so it'll be 5 years next month that he died. And it's very sad because I loved my dad. My dad was the only one in the family who ever tried to understand who I was and what I wanted out of life. He was the only one who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. One of his hobbies, he painted. I don't know if you can see the painting behind me. That's one of his paintings. He painted that. I love that painting. It's my favorite painting. That's why I have it. He also wrote music. He had a website that people downloaded the music, and he had visitors to this website from I think it got to the point of over 90 to 100 countries. People from 90 to 100 countries came to my father's website and downloaded his music. Don't get excited. It wasn't pop music or anything like that. My father was something known as a classicist. He loved classical music. I grew up with classical music. That's my first love, is classical music. That's kind of where my voice goes. I'm not considered classically trained. I'm not going to say I'm classically trained, but I've been singing classical music since my whole life. So my father once said I would be classified as a lyric soprano. So I grew up with classical music, so that's the kind of music he wrote. He wrote music to study by, kind of music. It was very, very legato, very kind of meditative. Yeah, it was boring. If you want to call that, sorry Dad, but it was boring. But that's what he did, and he wrote a song for me. He called it Believe in Yourself, so I have a song for me. I have one of his paintings. My sisters have his music. My sisters have his paintings. He shared with the world, and I made sure I shared too. So when he died, I made sure they had his music as well, because I wanted them to have it too. He loved us girls, so he was a girl dad. He would love that. He would love that hashtag. He would live for that hashtag. That'd be all over his Facebook, was girl dad, sharing pictures of my sisters, because he loved my sisters. But he didn't hate me. He loves me too. But there's no more else to tell. My daddy, amazing man, filled to the brim with love, had so many memories and stories to tell about all his exploits all around the world. And guess what? That's my story. And I'm sticking to it. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.